بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Beloved brothers, sisters, Hujjaj, Huffaz, Ulama, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. My beloved brothers and sisters, this evening's Naseehah I'm just dedicating quite shortly, but most importantly quite powerfully to our brothers and sisters in Gaza, in Palestine. And many might not have been notified or are aware of the passing of Al-Marhum Yahya Sinwar, rahimahullah, may Allah's mercy be upon him. He was a prolific leader for the Palestinian people. And so his assassination a few days ago sent ripples throughout the ummah. Every single chat of ulama, of people, those in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Palestine, was alarmed and shocked by this news. And I was quite fortunate to have read some of the work and books that Yahya Sinwar had authored, had written. And one thing that I took from his writing and his statements was he never waited for a position or a committee or a title for his activism and for his defense of Masjid al-Aqsa. And we often, in our solidarity, we call out, Birruh, Biddam, Nafdika ya Aqsa. We say, Birruh, Biddam, Nafdika ya Aqsa. The reality of that, my beloved brother and sister, is the first part, Birruh, with our spirit, with our very ruh, our entire existence, we are committed to defending Masjid al-Aqsa in Palestine. The second part, Biddam, with our blood. The reality for most of us is we're not going to fall into that category. To sacrifice our lives to defend the Holy Lands. And Al-Marhum Yahya Sinwar, Allah has granted him, in fact the ulama have ruled, various fatwa bodies have ruled, that he gets the status of a shaheed, a martyr, because he died in defense of Palestine, in active defense. He was assassinated by the Israeli authorities. And there's a lot of speculation about which individuals were involved. And I'm not going to go into that because there are a lot of conspiracies going around. But ahammu shay, the most important point that I want us as an ummah and as a community to acknowledge is the matter of our brothers and sisters in Palestine must remain at the fore. It must remain at the fore. The passing of Yahya Sinwar, we, those who are not in Palestine, in Gaza, we are again saddened. We are upset once again. But if you check the Palestinians, the reason for MashaAllah, Majlis Taqwa having Salatul Janaza al-Ghaib. Firstly, I thank the trustees, MashaAllah, for prompting it. And secondly, I then saw the notice, the request. There was a beautiful letter, which I don't even think the committee is aware of. A letter written by Palestinians, calling for their brothers and sisters globally to show solidarity by performing Salatul Janaza al-Ghaib upon their leader. And this was an important letter, my dear brother and sister, because if you are part of social media, and maybe if you are familiar with some Arabic, you'd find that there's been a lot of debate around the status of Ash-Shaheed Yahya Sinwar, rahimahullah, may Allah's mercy be upon him. And there have been some countries, unfortunately, that have come out and even celebrated his assassination. And it was extremely saddening to see, presumably scholars, saying it is a good thing for the ummah. Now that's terrible, absolutely disgusting. So it is a reminder to myself and to everyone that we mustn't lose sight of the plot of our brothers and sisters in Palestine. We mustn't lose sight. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold on to the rope of Allah, the Quran, the Sunnah, the Deen of Allah, and don't be divided amongst yourselves. And this verse is very important. Allah created us, and He has given the Quran and the Sunnah to all of us. But when we start giving in to smaller debates and issues, must I march, mustn't I march, should I be there, who's the organizers, tafarraqu, that is what happens. We split up. And this happens also in our community. So it is a reminder to us that let our hearts remain affirmed and committed to the plight of our brothers and sisters in Palestine. And I humbly appeal, a reminder to myself and to everyone else, please increase in your dua for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Increase in your dua. Ask Allah actively in every dua you make. And now I'm going to refer to our Jumu'ah that we just had. There were visitors from Arab countries, not from, of course, our community. They visited and they came to Masjid Taqwa. And this feedback came to me after Jumu'ah. One of the visitors from an Arab country, he said he was so shocked to find the Imam making dua for Palestine on the mimbar. An Arab brother. And he came here to Masjid Taqwa and he said, and I don't understand why there is so much Palestine awareness in the city. We are not allowed to do this in our country. So a reminder of the freedom we have to show our solidarity. And a reminder to every person in this community that continue with dua for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. In any language, make dua, ask Allah to free Palestine immediately. Ask Allah to free Palestine before you leave this world. Ask Allah for the outcome sooner than later. And you ask Allah to strengthen our brothers and sisters on the forefront in Palestine. When I saw the marches and the response to the passing of Al-Fadil Yahya Sinwar, rahimahullah, may Allah's mercy be upon him, the Palestinians weren't saddened. And Hamas appointed the next leader. It's just who's next in line. And if you look at the model, very similar to how the Sahaba radiallahu anhum had to lead battles under the Prophet ﷺ. There wasn't time to even show remorse. And then they put up statements of Al-Fadil Yahya Sinwar where he said, the greatest gift that the Zionists can give me is to kill me. That's what he said in his lifetime. That's the greatest gift they can give him, because he will defend Al-Quds, the sacred lands, until he leaves this world. And Allah accepted that from him, and he was removed in that state. And so when we chant and we call out, Birruh, Bidam, Nafdiqa ya Aqsa, that first part must be really passionate in all of us, Birruh, in our spirit. Bidam, we support those. We can't really sacrifice our blood. It's very difficult for a South African. Nafdika ya Aqsa is a legacy. We will defend you, O Aqsa, is a legacy. That every single Muslim will make the effort to defend Al-Aqsa. I was really proud of a very young boy recently. I heard him talking to a non-Muslim boy. It was in line of soccer, by the way. He said, you mustn't support that guy, you must support this other guy. I'm not going to call out names now. And then the guy asked him, why? I like this one. So he said, that one supports Israel and the other one supports Palestine. And this was a 6-year-old. Allahu Akbar. And I thought, okay, alhamdulillah, the soccer, I'm going to give you ma for that part. But the Palestine awareness in a 6-year-old is powerful. To debate with another, to say you can't support that soccer player because he is in support of Israel. And the youngster he was talking to said, yeah, but you want to support that one, he's not really Muslim. So we said he's not Muslim, but he dresses like a Muslim and he supports Palestine, and that's good enough for me. And that inspired me again to see this, and that means that we are passing this over. It is part of the legacy. So my dear brothers and sisters, as a reminder to myself and to everyone, continue with dua, 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 dua for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. May Allah free them. May Allah grant them victory over the enemies. May Allah grant them perseverance and strength. And may Allah end this conflict, this genocide in Palestine, and return the lands to the Muslims. Amin ya Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Rabbil Alameen. Shukran.